All right, guys, good afternoon. Welcome to the lunch break here at FNGO. Hope you guys are doing well on this Monday. It's definitely a Monday. Running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I hope you guys are a little more in control of your Monday as I am. Had a great, fantastic weekend, I guess, all things considered. I hope you guys did as well. I see some of you already up there in the comments section, and I'm glad you could join me today. Looking forward to it. This is always one of the best parts of the day. Just getting able to sit down and talk with you guys. Just being able to talk with you about what all's going on, what all we're seeing in the world, and we're going to discuss some things today. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and remind everybody about the Toys for Tots tournament, December 6th, Laurel Park. Gotta get warmed up right here. It's going to be a great event. $5,000 guaranteed first place prize, $80 buy-in, pays from 2 on down, depending on number of boats. You drive a Phoenix, got a chance to win Phoenix contingency if you win everything. But it's all about the kids, right? Toys for Tots. Pickens and Hall County, we just want to make sure they got a great Christmas. And every angler has to bring one unopened toy. So you guys remember that. Get signed up. Let's go ahead and get signed up. Get you down on the list. Got anglers already signed up. You're going to blast off in the order which you sign up. So if you want one of them early blast offs, hey, hit me up. We'll get you took care of. What's up, Peg Leg on TikTok? How are you, buddy? But I see all you guys out there. Also, too, yeah, Fishers of Hope. The tournament for the young man named Matthew, November 1st on Lake Blue Ridge. Go to Fishers of Hope on Facebook, and they've got all the information right there. Again, anytime you can do one of these tournaments to help out somebody, hey, you get to fish. It's going to make you feel a lot better about yourself, and you're doing something. Can we identify as a kid and get a toy too? Hey, listen, absolutely. We'll do whatever, man. We just want you guys there. We want you there. So lots to talk about, okay? And we can go whichever way you guys want to go. All right, we're going to talk about the Ultimate Angler some. Unfortunately, I decided to possess a HVAC system that needed work on, and I didn't get to make it out. And I'm very disappointed with that, but a lot of good stuff came out of it. We're going to talk about that. Also, too, big weekend for college football. Some of the worst officiating I've ever seen in the Georgia-Auburn game. You guys, if you want to gripe about that, we can do that. And again, as always on a Monday, whatever you guys did over the weekend. Peg Leg, I'm your HVAC guy. I've been doing it 21 years. I did it for about 20-something. And me and my son ended up having to do some, let's just say, work in the crawl space. So that took my weekend. But we can talk about it all, wherever you guys want to go, especially, what you saw in the water. But let's jump right in on this Ultimate Angler. Real Adventures. If I could get one sponsor, what company should I go for? Real Adventures. Depends. You looking for baits? You looking for money? You looking for baits? You looking for money? Two totally different types right there. Because there are companies out there that will give you baits for sure in exchange for some exposure. Baits? What's up, Big Bait John? Okay. Then the next question is, what kind of fisherman are you? You a power guy? You a finesse guy? We got to get your resume, man, and then we can set you up. What I want to talk about, though, with the Ultimate Angler, first of all, power for sure. You know what? I would recommend you find you a smaller bait company. And here's why. Mom and pop, mid-sized company before you go for the Strike Kings and all that in the world. Because they're hungry to get their products out there. Look for somebody local in your area or a company that makes the baits that you like to fish, but try to help out an up-and-coming company as you're growing as well. I think they're really hungry. They want to get stuff out. So, Pegleg says Myco Lures right there. There's so many options, but find one that suits you and help them as well. Also, too, Tony says, what company do you already use and trust, and how can you provide value to them? That's something for sure. Tracy Coker got into the stripers on Saturday, and how do you go about getting a bait sponsor? I need one real bad. Well, first, here, I'll tell you this. It's going to be what, you have to approach a sponsor, not as what baits can I get from you, but how you can help that company. You need to go to that company and say, hey, listen, I'm John G. Wilson. This is what I do. Like your products, but I would like to help your company grow in whatever way whatever ways you need it. You got to approach them, making them what's important, and then trying to help them grow. You kind of see what I'm saying? You've got to approach it that way. Somebody walks in here and wants some baits. I'll give some to a high school kid here and everything, but if it's an adult and he starts talking about sponsors and stuff, I listen to what they're saying. And if it's all about me, and less about you know what I'm saying? I don't even give them the time of day. And neither will 99.9% of the companies out there. The sponsor world is so saturated, better have some good accolades. Companies get 100 emails a day of people looking for sponsors. I think 100 is on the low side, Jeremy, to be honest with you. I really do. Everybody wants a piece of that pie, right? Someone sponsored me a pontoon. I know. I wish Bass Cat would sponsor me and give me a brand new bass boat. I promise you, Bass Cat, I can put you out front and center with everything. I just need that. I feel like I could represent a company pretty good since I'm a good river angler. Well, then you've got to, use that to your advantage when you're selling yourself to them. But at the end of the day, you got to make it about them. Not that I was wanting to catch any stripers. They were just everywhere in that spot. Well, listen, hey, Tracy, the tug is the drug, right? The tug is a drug. Oh, yeah. I agree with you, Jeremy. You know it. Yeah, I know. You're just throwing a number out there. It's crazy. It's crazy. Not only do you have to compete with, let's just say, let me throw it out there. I'm 53 years old. So I'm competing against other anglers. If I want to go get a sponsor, I'm competing against other ones my size. But then you got your high schoolers, your college kids. Then you got your guys with the YouTube channel and all that. What's up, Kendra? How you doing, hon? You've got all these different options, and they're all going for that. Let's say that company's got 1,000 baits they want to give away to potential sponsors for an upcoming season. And again, I'm just throwing a number out there. Well, you got 5,000 people trying to get those, right? And so it makes it kind of tough to get in. John, first of all, you got to show value to the company that what you do can bring value to them. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Congratulations to Paul Marks Jr. I'm behind a little bit. What did he do? I mean, I knew did he fish another tournament? What's up, Critterbug Customs? How you doing? I know. I tell you what, listen, what I want to talk about today on that Ultimate Angler. Now, the only complaint anybody has is, of course, the coverage. And we get that. All right. We get that. But other than that, man, they pulled it off. They pulled it off, and people were paying attention. I was paying attention. Even being up here not being able to go, I was still paying attention. And I wanted to see, my big thing I wanted to see was not how Guntersville would show out. I knew Guntersville would show out. But I wanted to see how these young kids went against some seasoned veterans with no scope. Period. That's what drew my attention to this tournament. And with Tucker winning, has he done anything to hush up the naysayers? Because there are people out there, you've seen them on social media, that have said, hey, these kids can't catch nothing without scope. Some very popular social media people have said that. They can't catch nothing without scope. Can't do it. Tucker Smith not only beat a lot of guys older than him that have been in the game a long time, but guys, to be honest with you, he kind of kicked their ass. I mean, if you look at it, I wrote it down here. It wasn't even close. He kicked their ass. Tucker was taught by the best, Aaron Martins. He knows way more than scope, and Kendra says, yeah. And a lot of these younger anglers are like that. They've got people in their lives that have brought them up, but they just, because the way people are split, 50-50, scope, no scope, these kids without, they don't get the benefit of the doubt. Let me read some of the comments over here. The funny thing is, once you do tons of social media, you get companies reaching out to you, wanting you to do work for free. Just saying it goes both ways. You have to weigh the value and be valuable. And Tony and I, we talk about that all the time. 100%. I agree with you. JT Turner, got to see how you can help them. Maybe that means being a more diverse angler and try new stuff for them. For sure. Absolutely. It cracked me up, people being mad about covering something they never claimed was going to be any kind of coverage anyway. Yeah, they never said they were going to do that. I get what you're saying, Jeremy. Yeah, what he's saying is people are mad about something, and they never once said we were going to have lives or anything like that going on. You can't be mad about it. They were up front. Now, what we hope is in the future, they get some coverage. Kendra says people underestimate these kids. I think it is great highlighting that they are all-around anglers. Oh, 100%. 100%. Scratch fishing. It has nothing to do with forward-facing sonar. It was the kid's home lake. Forward-facing or not, he knows the lake, and I'm sure he has some friends that are sticks on that lake. Scratch. Okay, I'll give you that. How many other guys call that lake home? I can think of a couple of very well-seasoned pros that's their home lake. He still beat them. He still beat them. Will that at least have people at least, okay, maybe these young kids can fish. Maybe at least think that. Maybe. I don't know. But there are quite a few. I mean, that's G-Man's lake, right? I mean, he's got to have a lot more experience on that lake than Tucker does. I get what you're saying. I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah, home lake, it does help. But, man, all them guys fish Gunnersville all the time. It gets hammered. So I'll give you that it was his home lake. What's he, 23? 23. Carver says baits are money too. Now, Carver, listen, I agree with you on that too. Like you're talking about back to the sponsorship thing. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I just think, giving baits is one thing, but you give baits with the expectation of something in return, right? And so if you want those baits, you've got to prove yourself able to give that company a better return than the guys beside you. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Tony, what is the name of that book I told you to read? The book was so good I forgot the name. No, it's actually one of the better books that you'll ever read if you are interested in searching out sponsors for anything and who to contact in these companies and all that. Tony, can you put that down in the comment section? I've got the book. I think it's out in my truck. And I don't want to say the wrong name, but you know the book I'm talking about. Would have been an interesting tournament if Trey McKinney was in it. Yeah, it would have. It would. Yeah, I mean, I like Trey McKinney. I would have loved to have seen what he would have done. And I have a feeling that he would have done well. I mean, Emil from here, what he end up 15th? What is Emil, 27 or something? But he's kind of in that area of his age where people, and we've talked about it on the show before, of not getting credit because he knows how to scope and he grew up on fishing Lake Lanier and things like that. I tell everybody, Emil Wagner could walk out here in the middle of Highway 53 with not a bit of water around and figure out how to catch a bass out of it. I mean, he could. My whole point in saying all this is I think these kids are are way more advanced than we ever were at the same age, that they can fish in multiple different, ways, scope, no scope, power, finesse, whatever. They're just more well-rounded than what a lot of people in this world give them credit for. What I found funny was G-Man having a tournament and fished a different tournament. Did he fish the Big Bass Bash? I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't even know what won the Big Bass thing. I didn't even keep up with it. I was so far behind this weekend. Sponsor Magnet. There is a book called Sponsor Magnet. And I told Tony about this book. And I forget the gentleman who read it, but I've read it. If you are looking on how to get sponsors and how to do it the right way and who to contact, you need to buy that book. You need to buy that book, Sponsor Magnet, because this man approaches it in a different way than a lot of us do. And This, the best way to describe it is the first 3 or 4 chapters are they're kind of from a 40,000 feet looking down, kind of like how he does it. And then it gets kind of technical. But it will be the best book that you can read, whether you're trying to get a huge sponsor or the guy down the street with a spinnerbait. It applies in everything. Pegleg says if a kid starts fishing at 3 and sticks with it, by the time they're 18, they done got 15 years experience. Yeah, they do. They do. Coleman says, what's up, everyone? Going to break doctor's orders and fish this weekend. Do it, man. Do it. I broke my wrist playing adult league softball and at a practice of all things, not even in the game, showboating and diving for a ball, and I dove forward and caught the ball, but the tip of my glove caught the ground, and I rolled over and just snapped my wrist. So went to the hospital that night and ended up going to the doctor and got a permanent cast. Got a permanent cast put on. I did heat and air back in the day. I needed my hands. And I was in a rough end crew, and back then we did hard pipe. I'm that old. I did hard pipe. So I had to cut, and I could not take my snips and cut. I wore that cast for about 4 days. And I cut that thing off, pulled it off, because I needed to work. I had to do it. You do what you got to do, right? I don't have any ill effects from it. But it might not be the smartest thing I've ever done, but I did it. Doctor's orders are just a suggestion. Yeah, Amazon is where you can buy that. That's where you can buy it. Doug Rice, what's up, buddy? The kid can fish. Can't take that away from him. And I haven't had the opportunity this weekend to jump and read comments on videos like I normally love to do. So I don't know if they're out there, but I bet you there are some. I bet you there's still a couple of those guys that will say, hey, and I'm not saying you were doing that up there, Scratch, but I guarantee there'll be some that will say home lake, got lucky, et cetera, instead of just saying, you know what, the kid can fish. Haters still hating. I haven't checked it. I'm sure it's out there, though. Listen to this, guys, if you're looking for sponsors. Tony put this down. Again, he and I have had this conversation a ton. One of the biggest things that book will tell you is stop doing work for product. Can't feed the family with products. And once you take that deal, it's hard to break away. So what it's boiling down to is if you go to a company and say, hey, I want you to sponsor me. Y'all work out a deal. And he gives you, let's just say, we're just for the sake of argument, 50 spinnerbaits. You have a great year. You come back and next year you want 50 spinnerbaits and $500. Odds are you're going to get 50 spinnerbaits. That's just the reality of things. Sometimes you got to ask for the dollar bill. You got to ask for the dollar bill. Dollar bills pay entry fees. Dollar bills pay for extra equipment. Dollar bills will buy you a TV time slot. It works. It's from the top down. It does not change. Dollar bills. Is that saying start with a company? It's not saying that you can't do product, but maybe then at least be upfront about it and say, hey, listen, okay, for this year, we can do a product thing, but in the years to come, if I am successful and you're getting the views and all that, I would like some cash considerations. But you got to tell them. Luke Pinnell just got in here, but Tucker Smith is that guy. Damn right he is. What's up, Colin? Looking forward to doing your show in December. What's up, Aquaholic? I'm telling you, listen, Tucker can fish. All of them can fish. I really wish they were doing that. Now, Scratch says, I understand that it was other guys' home lake. I'm just saying it doesn't prove anything about these kids being able to catch fish with or without forward-facing sonar. Scratch. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. How about this? Emil Wagner grew up over here in Georgia. Lake Lanier, man. Lake Lanier. You better bring your forward-facing sonar over here if you want to compete over here. But he went over to Gunnersville and 15th. Got to check. I get what you're saying. And maybe with it being Tucker's home lake, you can pull a little bit away from that, saying, okay, maybe he had a little bit of, home cooking advantage, maybe. But a lot of guys don't fish Gunnersville and all that. My biggest thing with all of it is I just think these young guys don't get credit. And it's a no-scope tournament. I get what you're saying, though. He did find big fish. He figured out a way to make them eat. Luke says Tucker beat Howell, who had lived on Gunnersville for years and has fished longer than Tucker's been alive. True. And there was a lot of guys that were like that. Now, I would tell you this: if G-Man's home late to you, if you really want to do a true no forward facing sonar, you do kind of like what the TAA did over here on Lake Lanier. Just don't do it during bed season because everybody use that as an excuse. Put them on Lake Lanier in January. Put them on there in January. Pick your lake. Pick whatever lake. You know, I would still say, like you're saying with Tucker, I think Emil and some of the locals here would have a little bit of advantage. But, I mean, who ended up winning the TAA? Who won? I forget who all won that. Who won that event? You're always going to find a little bit of that. Until they catch him in a toilet bowl, it proves nothing, Tony said. Tucker won Big Fish Day 1 7-pounder on a jig. He did. He did. I'm going to do a special order run on these, a pre-order on these sweatshirts. I'm going to put it on there and let people order them for the next. I don't have any in stock for the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Take some orders and then we'll get them in. Something like that. I'll announce it. You guys are going good. Johnston. That's right, Johnston. Johnston, listen, whether you like them boys or not, the Johnson brothers can fish anywhere, everywhere. Scope, no scope, they can fish. But listen, for the first year of the Ultimate Angler thing, I mean, I think it was a success. I know I popped off, and this was Friday or something. When they were doing the weigh-in, and that was on Facebook or whatever it was on. I mean, it had like 1,800 people watching at one point. It would be nice if there was a tournament at the end of the year that had the top 30 anglers in each of the 3 big trails. That would be a cool tournament. For sure. Luke says that's the best tournament I've paid attention to in years. And I wish I could have gone out there. I wish it would have worked out there. And I'm going to tell you something else, guys. Listen, the state of Alabama, you got to give them kudos. They stepped up to the plate. A lot of money. You put $500,000 for a first place prize on the line. I mean, you're going to get some guys that want to, even though they're competing in their trails, they got that tournament because they're all gamblers in the back of their mind. They're all thinking about it, whether they want to admit to it or not. Some of them guys, especially your Gunnersville guys, were looking down the road going, man, I got to figure out a way to qualify for that. It's been on their radar for a long time. It was a great tournament. But will it change anything? How about I'll just ask you guys that. Will it change the way you feel about young kids and scoping? Or has it moved the needle one way or the other? Were you neutral and now you're more like, hey, yeah, they're better than I thought? I mean, how does it make you guys feel? I've been pro the young kids ever since. I think it's the best business decision I've ever made as far as a podcast is to make friends with all these high schoolers and the guys like Emil 4 years ago, before they got big, because once they were there, hey, now my foot's in the door with them. Captain John Hill says, I love seeing it 100%. And he put it down 3 times. I don't know how many of you guys are Christians, but you go into the Old Testament or anything like that. If they say holy, holy, holy 3 times, that means, hey, pay attention to what I'm saying. I didn't look at the standings. I don't care the age. I think top anglers need to be well-rounded for sure. I was going to do that. I had them all listed down, and I was actually going to go through the field and do averages, but I didn't get around to it. It crossed my mind to see what the average was between the top 15, the top 50, and just the entire field. How much was entry fees for that with that kind of payday? I think the majority, I don't even know if there was an entry fee, Eric. I think the majority of the money was put up by the state of Alabama and others. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember I think they might have had to join the association. Might have had to do there, but I don't think so. Was the $500 though to the tournament, or was the $500 the payment to be a member of that organization? That's what I know. 500 is the number that crosses my mind. Okay, Kendra said this: no entry fee, just a $500 membership, and fish a qualifying event. I thought it was that. I knew 500 was somewhere in there. 500 to join. Margie and Jason Cooper. Let's see. You guys are throwing. If I miss your comment, throw it back out there. Not hating, but do you believe that kids fishing, with that kid's fishing schedule, he found those fish and figured out how to get them to eat all by himself? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, man. Hey, listen, Scratch, you're bringing up great points. I don't know if there was any, and again, I didn't pay that much attention to it. If there was any no info rules or whatever. With that, I didn't pay attention to. I've been dealing with some other stuff, so there could have been no info. My only question is, what can the kids not do? They're going to have to start tying one hand behind their back. Well, possible. I'm trying to think about, Scratch, what, kind of what you're talking about. Because again, if you guys know, you let me know if there was any no info rules or anything like that on this tournament. Because I really, honestly, I have to be upfront and honest. I didn't pay attention to that part. Oh, okay. No, I get what you're saying. He's not calling him a cheater. Just saying fishing can be a lot about who you know. It can be. No, listen, for sure. Depending on what the rules were for this event, people could have said, hey, you know what? They're busting over here on this point, Matt, whatever the hell. But I would pretty much say that he had to figure it out on his own, right? You can't fish another man's game. Well, some people can. I can. I suck at it. My question is, how is having these two giant tournaments out on Guntersville going to affect the lake with the mortality rate of fish being caught? Would be a shame if the lakes take a big hit after tournaments like that. I would answer this, Justin, with that lake, with Guntersville being as big as it is, I don't think it would have much of an effect. Guntersville's got pressure like that every weekend. Every week, hell, probably every day, there's a tournament of some sorts going on Guntersville. I don't think it would hurt it at all. Now, again, I'm not a biologist. I'm not an expert. I just go by what people talk. The guys that live on that lake, could. I don't know, but I don't think so. Let's see. A lot of the anglers thought it was a scam and didn't get in. I don't know. They possibly could. Luke said you'd have to get 2,000 boats every day for a month to hurt Gville. And that's what I'm saying. It's a huge, I don't think people realize how big Guntersville is. It's monstrosity. Did Alabama really pay the prize money? James, if I'm not mistaken, the state of Alabama put up a ton of it, if not all of it. Again, so I'm coming from an uneducated standpoint on the exact workings, and just a common everyday guy like you guys are that just happened to have paid attention to it. I do wish, now we talked about it last week, it'd be pretty cool if Texas would step up and throw something like this. You get what I'm saying? Some of these other Texas might spend the money on it. Alabama might spend the money on it. Seriously, I'd be shocked if Georgia would ever do something like that. You're not going to see a tournament like that in Georgia with us putting up the money, if that's the case. Unfortunately, I could see Tennessee maybe doing it. I can't see Georgia ever doing it. I wonder how much that tournament brought in for the local economy. I imagine it's well north of what they paid out. For sure. Probably, Slick was involved with it. I might have to call Slick and say, you guys got an estimate of what the economic boom was? If he don't know, I know he knows who does. And again, it's just estimates, but you also got to realize that this was a week-long event, not the tournament itself, but them guys got in on the Saturday, Sunday before. They had a golf tournament, I think on Monday. So, it was a week-long gathering. So I'm sure it had to have helped some, right? Oh Lord. Pontoon Jody. I'm off work today because I'm sick. So I'm headed to the dam to catch skipjack. Now, Pontoon Jody, are you really sick? Are you really sick? Or you just you got the Monday flu? Going fishing. Going fishing. Corey Mitchell, what will it take for these older guys to admit the younger guys are just flat out better than them? Well, some people are never going to admit it. Just like I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care how young you are. You're sick of work, and there you go. The music in the 80s is far superior to anything that was put out in the decades past them. Since. You 19, 20, 24-year-olds, I'm sorry, I'm old. I'm never going to admit it. I will never change my mind till they throw me in the dirt. And even then, I'm not going to change my mind. Some of these guys are not going to change their mind. Just not going to do it. You're just not going to make them all believe it. But, I mean, it shows in a lot of different ways. I think they're just more educated faster. I mean, think about it. A 6-year-old today, and I've said this 100 times, a 6-year-old today can basically launch a missile out of a foreign country with an iPad or a phone, right? I was eating dirt. I was eating dirt at 6. And that's in the 80s when the music was better. But look at what they're doing now. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I've got a great niece who's been able to work an iPad since she was 2. The 90s had some okay music, not as good as the 80s. You're not going to convince me. But you see what I'm saying? Some of these guys are not ever they're not going to change their mind. They're not, you'll get some guys that like the old way of fishing. They like the older baits. They don't even like the newer baits. They're not going to spend the money on newer baits because the thing they threw in the 80s still catches fish, and God bless them for it. Not going to change that man's mind. Blunt and Burn 247. That's a hell of a name. I love your guys' names, man. The only beef with that tournament that I have is it was so hard to access the results each day. Fix that. And I think they will, man. Honestly, I think they'll listen to what you guys are saying, and they will. We got to give them a little bit of grace. It was year 1. A little bit of grace for year 1. Year 2, they need to fix it. I agree with you. Did y'all see Milliken's kicked out video? No, because every time I click on a Ben Milliken video, he gets me. He gets me. I'll wait and let you guys tell me what it is. I have nothing against Ben Milliken, other than sometimes his thumbnails are a little clickbaity, and he has gotten me before. I saw it. I just didn't click on it. James says, they grew up in the information age. Everything you want to know is available almost instantly. That has to play a part in it. But that's just the way the cards fell. Can't blame them for using all the tools. 100%, James. It wasn't clickbait on his last video, Jordan says. Okay, well, good. I'll have to watch it. Jordan G. I'm just saying he's got me. Ben has gotten me. And I like Ben. And I saw it the other day, and I'm like, if it's a big thing, then somebody will tell me about it on the podcast. But I tell you what, after this, I'm going to go back and watch it. That'll be on this afternoon's agenda. He does do it. Yeah, Jordan, you know what I'm saying? He does get you from time. They all do. They all do. The young anglers are carefree, no wife, kids. All they do is fish. Well, that helps. That helps. I mean, you guys, if you've ever paid attention to our page, and I know a lot of you guys don't follow fly fishing, but Tad Murdoch's a buddy of ours here at FNGO. He's a trout guide up here in Georgia, but he's early 30s. He's single, no family. He travels the world. He only has about 1 or 2 species left of, he calls them salmonoids. That's the scientific name, I think, but of trout, and he will have caught every species of trout/salmonoids in the entire world on a fly rod. And he will be the only man that we can find out that will ever have done that. Ever. He's going to write a book. You should go follow Georgia Wild Trout on Facebook. Tad, other than being an LSU Tiger, Tad is a really cool dude. but he's single and he can do it, right? You do that when you're young or when you're old. Dumb question, but does anyone do live scope lessons around Alatoona? Hit up Mr. Bill Payne with Bill Payne's Guide Service. Trust me, if you want a lesson from a legend, go with Bill Payne. He probably forgot more yesterday about live scope than I'll ever know. Let's see. Emil and Kaz could win on Lanier with or without live scope. I know, true. Now, Pontoon Jody says at 6, I was flipping rocks in the creeks, catching crawdads. 100%. That's what I was doing. If there's young guys that are so good, let's see. If the young guys that are so good prove everyone wrong, go jump in an MPFL, win a couple tournaments, win an AOI, and guess that will be what it takes to get respect from their anglers, from older guys. I guess so. Now, remember, Boy George. Oh, God, Aaron, listen. Boy George, Culture Club, was a product of the 80s. Yes, listen, I didn't say that he was perfect. And I'm going to listen. I just have to admit. So when that album came out, I was in the 5th grade. 5th grade, 6th grade, right in there. And I bought that album. And I honestly, God, thought it was a girl. I did not know Boy George was a man until I had a couple years on me. Didn't know. I didn't say he was a pretty girl. I'm just saying I thought it was a girl. I think the younger guys can outfish me, especially Messick Outdoors, Tim Gossett said, for sure. My Mexico fishing charter got canceled, but the story of memory we got that day will last forever. What happened when you didn't get to go fishing? What's up, Messick? Andy Anderson. Okay, here you go. Because Brooke, this is Brooks Anderson's father. And this is what he says. The Alabama legislature and the city of Scottsboro guaranteed the prize money. After day one, the top 50 were all over 18 pounds. Anglers had to swing for the fence to get in the top 50. The top 100 got paid and it probably has continued down here somewhere that I haven't got to. Hey, listen, Brooks had a strong showing too. If you got to that tournament, if you qualified for that tournament, you did good. It is a very good high payout for that tournament. Has Uncle Randy acknowledged that a young guy won a no scoping event yet? I don't know. Oh, you had a monsoon. I don't know, James. I haven't checked. So you didn't get to go on a fishing charter, but you got caught up in a monsoon. Sounds like a great day. A great day. But Messick, congratulations on catching your first trout on a fly rod. I saw that on social today, for sure. Tim says, I commend these young people for chasing their dream before they get tied down. Yeah, no, I mean, being serious, that is true. Because you get those opportunities, when you're young and not attached to anything, or once you've had a career done well for yourself and you retire and you chase those dreams. So for sure. And odds are better to do it while you're young because there's no guarantee that you're going to be around to retire. Now, Corey says, no, it won't get them respect. Tucker just won the biggest tournament year without live scope. Old guys make more excuses now than ever. And again, I have not had a chance to check. Now, Steve Billington, I'm going to kick your ass, man. I haven't had a chance to check, sit down. I basically had a computer-free day yesterday on a Sunday, which never happens. And this morning been busy doing stuff and haven't really had a chance to look either. So Steve says, so what I'm hearing is Danny had a thing for Boy George. No, he did not. He did not. It was just, Karma Chameleon, dude. It was the pop hit right back then. I bought Thriller. I didn't have a thing for Michael Jackson, but I owned Thriller because Eddie Van Halen played the guitar solo on Beat It. That had a lot to do with it. You don't have to be bougie to fly fish. You can go bougie, but you don't have to. No, for sure. That's a misconception with a lot of people on fly fishing. It's just like golf. You can go as expensive as you want, right? Bottom line outdoors, I think you heard some of the guys answer that as perspective mode, the same as forward facing. Yeah, it's just a way that your transducers turn. The Pontoon Jody is really singing Culture Club right now at the moment, which I did not have on my bingo card for this Monday. Do you really want to hurt me? I'm awful, my God. Got the lunch break and free pizza at work today. Not a bad day, man. Hey, now listen, I'm glad I'm a part of it, right? Culture Club was great music, but it was the beginning of music videos, and us folks from the country had to get our head around what we were seeing. Devo was another one we didn't comprehend. I still can't comprehend Devo. And in fact, I watched that video the other day. Whip it, grab that whip. Do, 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 do. I mean, and them stupid ass hats they had on. I still don't know what that's about. Jandon Smith 859, just got myself some fly fishing stuff. Anyone on YouTube I should watch, trying to learn. I mean, they're all good, but let me give you one thing. Don't worry about this river runs through it BS where it's all beautiful and all that stuff. Learn to roll cast first. Find you a video on roll casting because that is the only one that I can do. And most of the places, especially out here in Georgia, you're not doing that stuff. You got all this overhanging rhododendron and all that stuff, and you're going to lose more flies than you're going to do anything. Learn to roll cast. That is Danny Pruitt's fly fishing tip of the day. I can get the bug in the water and I can catch some fish. I'm not the one that you should be watching to learn how to do it because I break my wrist and them guys can't do it. But go to the website, Georgia Wild Trout. That's Tad. Go to Georgia Wild Trout. And then he's got some videos on our FNGO channel. On our YouTube, if you go all the way down to fly fishing and all that, he's got some basic beginner stuff like how to set the hook, how to do those kind of things. You should watch them. What's in the coffee mug, man? It's some kind of African coffee. I can't even pronounce. I got it up here at the local store. And I haven't taken a 5-hour energy or nothing yet. Hog wild fishing. Let the party start. Danny, you have a good singing voice. Yeah, ask my wife that. I start singing, my wife tells me to hush. Like, seriously. Now, Derek says I'm going to be sick tomorrow. Drinking that cat. No, I ain't drinking that cat crap coffee. I can't pronounce it either. I can't. Did y'all see what they changed Maxwell House to Maxwell Apartments? I know it's temporary, but did y'all see that? Trying to be more inclusive because not everybody lives in a house. And a lot of people live in apartments. And if you live in an apartment, so be it. Great. Fine for you. We shouldn't have to, companies shouldn't have to change the name of their coffee, though. Slash's live work on those. Fly fishing looks like golf to me, horrible. Please tell me that Maxwell thing is made up. No. I don't know if it is or not. Somebody said something about it on Facebook. Hell, it might be true. It might be not. I don't know. The internet said something about it. That's the plan eventually when I have some extra cash and time. Yeah, for sure. Just wait till Maxwell Section 8's released. Please tell me that the leopard thong in a song. If you guys raise enough money, I'll put on that. I'll go buy another leopard thong and I'll sing a song. But we got to raise some money for some less fortunate people and probably some money for some of you guys to have ear surgery. So, good singing voice for an underwater barbershop quartet. Well, you guys are cruel, man. Y'all are cruel on this Monday, bringing it all out, right? No, in my family, I was the athletic one, and my brother got all the singing and musical talent. I can strum a guitar. He can play a guitar. There is a difference. In church, because I sit in the second row, the pastor and people singing, they're looking at me. I'm mouthing the words because all the volume is coming from behind me, and it covers me. Stop making fun of poor people. Keep the leopard print in the bedroom. What are you guys saying? So far, I've been told today it's Monday. I can't sing. I had a thing for Boy George, and I guess my body does not, suit a leopard thong. Which, you know what? If I'm being honest with you, I agree with every one of you. I agree with you. Kendra, you know what? You can't sing either, but you can fish, hon. And that's all that matters, right? Maxwell Cave. What kind of coffee you guys drink? Honestly, what brand of coffee do you guys drink? Are you bougie Starbucks, latte, frate, mocha hottie hottie with 3 shots of whatever? Or you're a Maxwell House Folgers kind of guy? Aldi, Steve Billington said. Red Bull. Hog Wild says, no, I don't do coffee. Kendra says, I'm athletic and competitive as heck, but no musical talent. I believe you. Maxwell Trap House is my favorite coffee. Leaves you feeling real relaxed. Real relaxed. Mountain Dew, Rise Mushroom Coffee. Okay, Doc Holliday. Ain't heard of that one. Now I tell you what, back when I did okay, so Steve says I get the Aldi K cups and the grounds. I grind when I camp or I'm on the kayak. I got a Keurig here, but we got one of them reusable things, and I go out there and I just buy some kind of. I have to have dark coffee. Okay, I don't like none of this light breakfast blend. I want something that's going to kick me right in the nads when I drink it. I get my Red Bulls from a vendor by the case on Fridays. Steven is almost 100% water. Black Rifle Sasquatch Pods. Good choice right there. Barrel House Coffee in downtown Ball Ground is really good. I drank tea, not coffee. Do you drink your tea with your finger up there, Jeff? You one of them? Bones Coffee has cool flavors. Tully's Hawaiian Blend. You guys, listen, all I had to do was say something about coffee. Now you guys are commenting. I am a little coffee with lots of sweetened creamer. I can believe it. I can believe it. Racetrack Colombian Blend. Green Mountain listening to 80s hair metal. Morning Rush. Whatever dark roast is on sale, 100%. It's got to be that dark. Phil Robertson called it tap dance coffee to make you tap dance. You ain't a cappuccino fella, I take it. I'll drink one every once in a while. Shameless plug, Blue Mountain Coffee off 306 is the place to go for coffee. Ain't no shameless plug. Let it out there. The Lexington office for my company has 50-cent energy drinks in the vending machine. Listen, back when I did heat and air, we did a Coke and a dope every morning. Now, before you start saying, what is that? What is that? No, it's nothing illegal. It was a Mountain Dew and 2 Goody Powders. Mountain Dew and 2 Goody Powders. That's what we called it. That was breakfast from a time I was about 24 till about 35, because I didn't eat breakfast. It would be Coke and dope. Everyone has a new coffee to try now. Now, he's from Mississippi, so he's not doing that. Now, Alex Purse says athletic. No, look. You got to check Kendra out on Facebook. She's athletic. If she is, she'll probably whip you, dude. She'll probably whip the daylights out of you. She'll be slapping you around like that. Drinking water keeps me calm enough to fly fish. Listen, I'm supposed to drink water, but I don't like water. My wife goes, drink more water, and I hold up that Pepsi Zero, and I'm like, well, it's 98% carbonated water right there. Mississippi. All right, how about this? We'll just throw it out there since you guys got so into the coffee thing. How many of you drink it black, and how many of you put a little sugar, a little cream in it? Or, now I haven't today, maybe you put a little, bourbon in yours. How do you drink your coffee? And don't give me this dark coffee, just straight coffee is the way a man drinks it. I don't believe that stuff. Straight black, Coleman says. The state of AI covered to pay, Alabama covered the payout. Trey said that there. Creamer only. Lattes, brother, Jandon Smith. Tony says creamer only. I like my coffee like I like my women blonde and sweet, says Steve Billington. Listen at you, dog. I can always count on you. It just depends on my mood. It depends on my mood. I can go anyway. I can put a bunch of cream. Right now, I'll tell you what, this right here is nothing but coffee and creamer. But it is some kind of hazelnut or French vanilla or something like that. I like mine Buzz Bait Black. Danny, try the Wood Bait Country Lures. It's the Black Label Customs I was telling you about. All right. Okay. We'll do it. Watch out if I start saying yabba dabba doo. If it ain't got a pound of sugar in it, I ain't drinking it. That used to be the way I was like my sweet tea. Sweet tea. I mean, if it wasn't syrup, it wasn't made right. That was my sweet tea. Now, there is nothing, okay, there is nothing that will piss me off more than going to a church lunch or somebody's get together and you get some tea and you pour it in on that ice and you go drink it. It ain't got no sugar in it. That right there is a party foul of the biggest, highest level. All right, Janan, go out there on Murray, catch you a fish. Sugar-free, though. Ghost energy drinks over coffee any day. The breakfast blend coffee actually has a higher caffeine content than the dark roast does. Maybe. I don't know. I just like that taste. That rawr. One of the items missed about the Ultimate Anglers was the marshal got to fish with a pro during practice. Great vibe at the event. That would have been pretty cool. That would have been really cool. My fiance says I use an absurd amount of creamer. Colton Posey says, Life Boost mold-free dark roast. I like how you put mold-free. What are you saying about the rest of them? Is the coffee that we're drinking got mold in it? Or is it kind of like, like my family won't eat blue cheese because they say it's burnt, and I love blue cheese. I can eat blue cheese by the pound, for sure. Slash of flavored creamer is what it is. The person needs to bring the plates, and that person needs to bring the plates and the silverware for sure. When is the Toys for Tots on Lanier? Info, it is December 6th at Laurel Park. And if you haven't signed up yet, because I don't know, I see your screen name Cowboy, you can hit me up and I can get you signed up. Or you can sign up the morning of the day of the ramp. But if you go onto the FNGO Fish North Georgia group page on Facebook, I got it pinned to the top. All the information you need. Blue cheese crumbles on a hamburger, 100%. Let's see. The hostages were released. I think we all can agree that is a good thing. 100%. 100%. That's good news for sure. What's wrong with this picture? Getting pissed at a church potluck. Hey, it's a Southern thing. I didn't say, it's okay. Let me rephrase that. It's highly disappointing when you pour the tea over the ice in the blue Solo cup. You get back, you're eating your mashed potatoes, your macaroni, all these casseroles, and you're down in it, and you get a thirst, and you think you're going to get a good swig of sweet tea, and it's just this. Who the hell drinks unsweetened tea? Doc Holliday said, I tried your olives with blue cheese, dynamite. Best olive out there. Stuffed blue cheese olive. Lighter equals stronger caffeine. Light roast is stronger flavor. Is it? Maybe I'm backwards. Dark is stronger flavor if I cannot type. Okay, darker is. I got what you're saying. Nobody likes mayonnaise in coffee like old Elvis or Will Levis. I was reading quick. No, I don't like mayonnaise in coffee. I love mayonnaise on everything else. Carver says, hate to change the subject. Okay, that's okay. Don't hate it. You throw it out there, we talk about it. Nick D, we're all over the place. We're talking like I make love. We're just all over the place. My wife will be like, yeah, right. If you're in Michigan, make sure you tell them you want sweet tea specifically, because them Northerners, their tea is never sweet. Now, to change the subject, but can we all agree that viewership would go up on fishing if we knew where they were at? You talking about that Ultimate Angler? I would say yes. I would say yes. I would have probably watched the whole thing because I had buddies in it, like I said, like Emil and Brooks and Drew and I'd watch where Welcher was at. I would watch all those guys. Yeah, I think I would have watched it for sure a lot more. What hostages? I don't watch current events. The ones between Israel and Hamas. Hamas released all the living hostages that were left. That was announced this morning. Don't show up with unsweet tea. That stuff is gross. You're 100% right. Community dark roast, black. I use Purity mold-free coffee. Lots of caramel creamer and sugar. What is up with these guys saying mold-free coffee? What are you guys talking about? Am I missing something? You're the second one that says something about mold-free coffee. Unsweet tea is just tree bark water. That's what I'm saying. Might as well go out there and get you some pine trees. Well, I don't know. Not pine trees, because I think gin tastes like making love to a pine tree, like your tongue throating a pine tree. I don't like it. I'm learning more about coffee than I ever dreamed. This is what we do here, right? This is whatever happens. You never know what you're going to get. Today it's a coffee lesson, but nobody has talked about why those guys are putting mold-free coffee. I just don't understand that. And Tony wants to know about the mold-free coffee. Did you know some people put coffee up their backside? Coffee enema. Absolutely. I'm not saying I've experienced that, but I have read about it. There is mold in most coffee. Well, how do you keep yours mold-free, though? Y'all know they do coffee up the rear now. See, y'all learned that. Yeah, there are people out there that will do coffee enemas. And I don't know why we're talking about this on a fishing podcast, but sure, they do coffee enemas. But there's also a group of people that do, I don't even know what you call it, where they go outside and they're buck ass naked and they lay on their backs and they take their backside and they throw it up to the sun. You know what I'm saying? You got to visualize it yourself. You just throwing it up there and let the sun do its work. I've never had the desire to get a little burn on the backside of my yeehaws. Mine usually comes out the backside after my second cup. I get you, Danny, 100%. The people that do the coffee enemas are the same guys that throw the whopper ploppers. Yeah, I said it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But they do. I thought drinking coffee was like an enema. Yeah, well, I mean, now I'm learning things about coffee I didn't want to learn, Jeff Brazil thought. Message says that must be a Georgia thing. No, I believe it originated in the low country of South Carolina. And they don't throw the wacky rig, dude. He's saying they test their beans for mold, hence mold free. Okay, I got you. I got it. A little mold never hurt anybody. I mean, seriously. My wife walks around and she's got that disinfectant stuff and she's always washing her hands with that stuff and all that. And I'm like, I don't even wash my hands after I pee sometimes. You know, she's fussing at me. I'm like, what? I didn't do nothing. I didn't, I'm just kidding. Maybe, maybe not. You got to think about it. But she fusses at me. But I think if, you got to have a little bit of bug in you from here to there. Decaffeinated O-ring for sure. I think you got to have, you got to take a chance or two in life with the bugs here and there. Little dirt under the fingernails, grease, stuff like that. It ain't going to kill you. Mold only affects certain people. My wife is sensitive to it, so now she orders the mold-free stuff. I get it. No, and then listen, I'm playing. I'm playing. But there are people that are sensitive to things like that. At 100%. Mushrooms are grown in crap. What's the difference? Without manure, there comes no growth, a wise man once said. Without manure. And that goes for every aspect of your life. You think you're having a bad day, really crappy day? Without manure, there is no growth. Hell, that bathroom at the shop ain't seen a new bottle of hand soap since y'all opened it in 2019. I thought we talked about bass over here. Well, we're supposed to, Nick, but it's where I always say it's wherever you guys take it. But I'm about done for the day anyway. I'm gonna cut out here today. Just doing an hour today. Got some stuff I got to do. So, maybe we'll talk fishing tomorrow. I don't know. If I take Maxwell up the backside, I'm going to be tweaking on the beat. Good Lord, Steve. Someone said to me once, didn't your mother teach you to wash your hands after you pee? To which I said, nope. She taught me not to pee on my fingers. Exactly, Tim Hancock. And you know what? With that word of wisdom right there, I'm going to call it the end of the night or end of the day today. It is Monday. We're going to leave on that. So the FNGO tip of the day is don't pee on your hands. We'll be back tomorrow at 12. I'm setting up the live well for tomorrow night, guys. We'll have a good one. Go do something fun this afternoon when you get off of work. Go have a good time. Hope we made a few of you laugh. Hope we made your work day a little bit easier, a little better. But I appreciate all you guys just coming and hanging with us. So you guys be good. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, don't pee on your fingers. Tim Hancock's mom said so. See you guys. Let me find. Oh, my dadgum mouse is all over the place. And there we go. You guys be good.